You can be the destroyer of this world. Or you can be its savior.
Greetings, whoever this may concern. Christian Aguilar here, back with another movie review. And in today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing the new DC movie that just released, entitled Black Adam. This will be a spoiler-free review, so you can sit here, watch this review, and not worry about getting spoiled about anything with this movie. I just got out of it. I went to see it last night, and I have to say, not that bad of a movie. It's crazy because I saw a lot of negative reviews, especially from critics, saying that this is just another one of DC's flops that they just released and had no creative vision or cohesive storytelling to it. But Black Adam feels like something different. Yes, it does feel like your typical superhero movie, action-packed, CGI heavy, that's all still there. But what makes it different this time around is it feels like it's a starting point, almost, if dare I call it that. It feels like it's opening up new grounds for the DC universe, especially one that could connect with each other. There are subtle references to a larger DC universe, and that is awesome. It's not just the, hey, look, those are real life comic books in the movie, those are Easter eggs. No, they're actually in-universe references and some familiar faces that'll pop up, and that will just make you excited for the future of DC. And that is something I have not said in a while, being excited for the future of DC. And after watching this movie, you leave with that sensation. You leave with that feeling of, I want to see what comes next. We know, I think the Flash movie is up next, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that performs, especially with all the real life drama behind it. But regardless, Black Adam feels like a great starting point to something new, something that we can push forward and kind of follow and eventually root for. It just seems like they can go anywhere with this story, whether they want to do a Black Adam 2 or something that kind of exists in the same continuity but is like totally different. Like, I would love a Justice Society TV series or like a streaming show, like an HBO Max original. Give the Justice Society an HBO Max original series, because I would sit there week for week watching those guys in a series if they had it, or if they even want to just give them another movie. I would not mind seeing a Justice Society movie either. There are a handful of characters that they could possibly expand on, and I do hope to see that moving forward. The Rock as Black Adam, it fits. It does fit. There's a lot of times where you go and watch movies and you see actors on the big screen and you're like, okay, that's still that actor. Like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is someone, majority of the time, I just look at the movie, I'm like, okay, that's Tom Cruise. The only exception to that is Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder, I remember first seeing that, not knowing that was Tom Cruise, like a lot of people when they first saw that. So that is when he really disguised himself. But every other movie, it's like, that's Tom Cruise. Or any other movie with Tom Hanks in it, that's Tom Hanks. You get that feeling. And that same feeling comes with The Rock. Every time there's a Rock movie, I'm like, well, okay, that's just The Rock in an action movie. He's playing the hero. But when Rock plays a villain, I think that's when he stands out. I really like Rock portraying bad guys. And that stems way back into my childhood when I saw him portray the Scorpion King. Yes, I know it's a CGI abomination today, but when I was younger, he was a deadly, badass, ancient force coming back from the dead, from his tomb, to wreak havoc in the final third act of The Mummy Returns. And that was just so cool to see at the time when I was a kid. I saw that when I was like, 4 or 5 years old, so of course it was going to blow me away. So to see that come back in Black Adam and see him portray someone that is very neutral, it's pretty refreshing to see, I'll be honest with you. And I love how at a certain point it kind of felt like there was no antagonist. It felt like our protagonist was the antagonist, and that the people he was fighting were supposed to be the heroes. The way the story kind of played itself out for the first 2 acts, it felt like a Justice Society movie with Black Adam as the antagonist. Traditionally, if they were to go that route, that's the route that they would go. Traditionally, it would be a Justice Society movie with Black Adam as the antagonist. But they flip it for this movie, and I find that really refreshing, and I find it really creative that they went that route. And I hope to see more superhero-centric movies like that, because there's a lot of anti-heroes in comic books that I think deserve that type of treatment, so to see Black Adam go that route was pretty cool. I think in terms of CGI, everything looked pretty top-notch. Like, nothing really took you out of the movie, except for the moment where Black Adam turns into his regular self, like he says the word Shazam, he turns back into his immortal self, right? Since The Rock worked out and like gained so much muscle for this movie, it was hard to do him in normal form, right? He's always in God mode. So they had to CGI or like superimpose his face onto a smaller body double, and it looked a tad bit off. Not too much to where it's laughable. I'm looking at you, Mark Ruffalo from Avengers Infinity War. My God. Anyway, it doesn't look totally awful, but I did notice it when it first popped up. I'm like, oh, that looked a little funny. But I get why they did it, because The Rock just really went beast mode with this one. He wanted to get in the best shape possible for this role, and it really shows. So much so they had to get a smaller body double for him when he's in his normal attire, normal mortal version. He's not as big, he's not as godly anymore, right? And I just felt like that little moment looked a little off, but not too much for it to take you out of the whole movie. I felt like there was some pretty decent jokes in here, man. The whole movie isn't too humorous. It's not like it's not taking itself seriously. Whenever there are dramatic moments and it wants to create weight for itself, it does. So I was glad to know that the little jokes that they had in there, it landed. It worked. And I love the chemistry between the Justice Society, and especially when they come face to face with Black Adam. The whole moral discussion about heroes not killing people, that we have to keep them alive, and this and this and that. I love the clashing of ideologies there, and it was really fun to see play out on the big screen, especially between Black Adam and Hawkman. Those two going at each other is one hell of a treat. I'll tell you this right now, all the fight scenes in here are really, really entertaining. There's not one boring fight scene in this movie, and that is something to behold. That is pretty awesome, man. The only thing that really bothered me with this movie was the child actor, the kid that was in it. Not a bad. He didn't do a bad job or anything. It's just he felt very, I don't know, a little bit shoehorned in there. That character felt like a studio decision. It felt like, hey, we need a kid in here so the kids watching this movie have someone to attach to. Hey, that could be me helping Black Adam, right? That could be me cheering on Black Adam. I felt the kid wasn't truly needed. However, understand why he was in there. Not because the children need something to relate to. It's more along the lines of Black Adam needing a connection to his people. If you know the origin story of Black Adam, you know that he is kind of a man out of time. All the people that he rules over is in the modern day. It's not back when he was around with his family and stuff. So a lot of the people of Kahndaq, he doesn't really have a lot of emotional attachment to, right? It's just he feels obligated to rule because it's his home, right? Overall, it's still his home, despite it being years in the future. It's still his home. So I understand why the kid character was there along with the mother. I actually like the mother over the kid more. I feel like if the mother was just there as like an archaeologist and she's still a part of that rebellion from the are they called Kahndaqi? I'm unsure. I'm unsure of that part. I don't think they specified it in the movie, and if they did, I missed it. But Kahndaqis, Kahndakians. How do you call the people of Kahndaq? What do you call them? What do you call the people of Kahndaq? But anyway, I still felt like the mother as an archaeologist could have still represented that rebellious uprising that the people of Kahndaq were trying to achieve. Their country was being overtaken by foreign invaders, so they want their land to themselves. And that's a major theme in this movie that I'm kind of glad that they had play out. But again, do we need that kid character in there? That kid character was really trying to push Black Adam into the superhero route. He's like, you could be like Batman, you could be like Superman, Aquaman, like you could be like those guys, but those guys aren't coming to us. You're here with us, so you could be our superhero. And I thought, okay, I get the whole, neutral thing, but I really like Black Adam when he's ruthless. Non-stop action, non-stop just killing, because it's entertaining. He really does feel like a force to be reckoned with. So when a kid's trying to like, oh look, you're a hero, just like this and this and that, it kind of brings down the intimidation factor for Black Adam a little bit. And the kid is the one who gives him the fun, quippy one-liners. They were funny. But again, for Black Adam, I just want to see the ruthlessness. But having that kid in there and having all the lighthearted, quippy jokes kind of made it feel like a Shazam movie, just a little bit. Again, it's not overly saturated with humor. It's just those little moments felt like a Shazam movie to me. And I'm like, I'm not here for a Shazam movie. I'm here for a Black Adam movie. I want chaos. I want anger, angst. But other than that, I did enjoy my time watching Black Adam. I do recommend you guys going out and watching it, especially if you're a superhero fan. If you love DC and Marvel, go out and watch it. And if you're wary about the bad critic reviews and you still kind of just want to have a good time, now don't go in expecting like Oscar-worthy stuff. No. Go in with moderate expectations like I did, and you'd come out having fun. That's what happened for me, and if you follow that route, I believe it will happen for you. It is a very fun movie. The plot is not too overly complicated, and it's not trying to purposely shove itself into a larger universe. The way it connects and the way it sets up stuff, it's very, very clever, and I don't want to keep talking about it without going into spoiler. I will be talking about this in full spoiler detail with Shannon and Tyler over on the Rendered Image. Once those guys see it, we'll all come together and talk about it as a whole in all of its spoiler-filled glory. So if you want to hear more spoiler in-depth talk, make sure to go over there. Link is down below in the description. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for reading to the end of it. What do I rate Black Adam? Before I leave, what do I rate Black Adam? I have to give Black Adam a solid 3.5 out of 5 Skarsgårds. Yes, 3.5 out of 5. It's a fun movie, fun, entertaining movie, great popcorn flick, and coming out of it, you will be excited for the future of the DC Universe. Again, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for reaching to the end of it. What did you think of Black Adam? If you saw it, let me know down below. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe, support the channel. It is always very much appreciated. I hope you're all safe and well out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.